The metallic hum of the starship Ecliptica reverberated through the cavernous corridors, blending with the occasional soft hissing of hydraulic doors and the faint beeping of consoles left unattended. Humanity's latest and most ambitious exploration vessel was a masterpiece of engineering, designed to push the limits of human curiosity into the deepest reaches of uncharted space. It was massive, a labyrinth of steel and circuitry, carrying a crew of 312 scientists, engineers, and explorers. Somewhere in this sprawling expanse of technology and life, Dr. Amelia Grayson found herself standing in stunned silence, staring at the large, pulsating orb that definitely wasn't supposed to be there. Amelia, a xenobiologist with an affinity for improvisation, had been running a routine analysis on soil samples gathered from a nearby asteroid when the discovery was made. The orb, an iridescent, translucent structure roughly the size of a large beach ball, had emerged from her containment unit without warning, seemingly materializing out of thin air. It glowed faintly, shifting colors like an oil slick caught in sunlight, and emitted a low-frequency hum that made her teeth ache. "Ah, Carter," she called over her shoulder, trying to keep her voice steady. "Can you come over here for a second?" Carter Voss, the ship's chief engineer and Amelia's occasional sparring partner in all things sarcasm, was already halfway through a protein bar when he stepped into the lab. His mop of curly hair looked particularly unruly under the fluorescent lighting. "What now? Did one of your samples start screaming again?" he quipped, but the joke died in his throat as his eyes landed on the orb. "What in the," he muttered, walking closer. "That was my question," Amelia replied, crossing her arms. "It's new. And it wasn't here 5 minutes ago." Carter crouched down, inspecting the orb from different angles. "Is it alive?" he asked, his voice tinged with equal parts awe and concern. "Not sure yet," Amelia admitted. "But it's definitely not inert. It's reacting. To us, I think." As if on cue, the orb pulsed brighter, its hues shifting more rapidly. Both Amelia and Carter took a synchronized step back. "Okay, that's unsettling," Carter said, tossing his half-eaten protein bar into the nearest trash chute. "We should probably alert the captain." Amelia hesitated. "And tell her what?" "That we found a glowing alien orb that appeared out of nowhere and might be, what? Intelligent? Dangerous? Both?" "Yes," Carter said firmly. "All of the above." "That's exactly what we should tell her." Before Amelia could respond, the orb emitted a sudden, high-pitched chirp. The lights in the lab flickered, and a wave of static surged through the intercom system. A voice crackled through the speakers, fractured, alien, yet oddly melodic. Neither Amelia nor Carter could understand the words, but the tone was unmistakably inquisitive. "It's trying to communicate," Amelia whispered, her earlier apprehension replaced by fascination. "Great," Carter deadpanned. "Let's just hope it's not asking us to kneel before our new overlord." The orb chirped again, louder this time, and the glow intensified to an almost blinding level. Amelia shielded her eyes as the room was bathed in cascading colors. When the light finally dimmed, they saw that the orb had multiplied. Where there had been one, there were now 3, each identical to the original, each humming in perfect unison. "Oh no," Carter said, taking another step back. "Nope. I'm out. This is above my pay grade." Amelia shot him a glare. "You're the engineer. You're supposed to be good with problems like this." "Yeah, mechanical problems," Carter shot back. "Not, whatever this is. This is alien weirdness. This is your department." Before their argument could escalate, the intercom crackled again, this time with a distinctly human voice. "Grayson, Voss, report to the bridge immediately. We have a situation." Captain Elena Torres' voice was clipped, authoritative, and tinged with just enough urgency to send a chill down Amelia's spine. They exchanged a glance. "You think this is connected?" Carter asked, nodding toward the orbs, which were now spinning slowly in place, as if waiting for something. "Only one way to find out," Amelia said, grabbing her data pad and heading for the door. The bridge was a hive of activity when they arrived. Officers manned their stations, screens displayed an array of red alerts, and Captain Torres stood at the center, her sharp features set in a deep frown. She turned as they approached. "Care to explain why there's a rapidly expanding energy field enveloping the ship?" she asked, her tone icy. Amelia's stomach dropped. "Expanding energy field," she repeated, glancing at the main display. Sure enough, a shimmering, multicolored field was closing in around the ecliptica like a bubble. It was eerily similar to the glow of the orbs. "We might have an explanation," Carter said, his voice unusually serious. "But you're not going to like it." As they relayed the events in the lab, Torres' expression darkened. "So you're telling me these things just appeared, and now they're surrounding my ship?" "Pretty much," Carter said, earning himself a sharp look from Amelia. "Captain," Amelia interjected, "I think the orbs are trying to communicate. This energy field might not be an attack. It could be some kind of signal. Or a response." Torres' gaze didn't waver. "And what happens when this signal crushes the hull and turns us into space dust?" "I don't think that's their intention," Amelia said, though she wasn't entirely sure. "But I need more time to analyze them." "Time is a luxury we don't have," Torres said, turning to her crew. "Options. Now. We could try to disrupt the field with an energy pulse," suggested Lieutenant Barlow, the ship's tactical officer. "Or we could, I don't know, not antagonize the mysterious alien entities we barely understand," Carter muttered. Torres' eyes narrowed. "Do you have a better idea, engineer?" Carter hesitated, then glanced at Amelia. "We could talk to them," he said reluctantly. Amelia nodded. "If they're trying to communicate, we need to respond. Maybe the field is their way of forcing us to pay attention." Torres considered this for a moment, then sighed. "Fine. You have 1 hour. But if that field gets any closer, I'm authorizing the energy pulse." Back in the lab, the orbs were now pulsating in a synchronized rhythm, their colors shifting in a pattern that almost seemed deliberate. Amelia approached cautiously, her datapad in hand. "Okay," she said softly, as if addressing a skittish animal. "If you're trying to talk, we're listening." She tapped a few commands into her datapad, initiating a basic translation algorithm designed to interpret patterns in nonverbal communication. The orbs reacted immediately, their pulses quickening. "That's either a good sign or a very bad one," Carter said, watching from a safe distance. The datapad pinged, displaying a series of symbols that quickly rearranged into readable text. Amelia's eyes widened as the first message appeared: "We require assistance." "Assistance?" Carter repeated, leaning over her shoulder. "With what?" Before Amelia could respond, the orbs chirped again, and another message appeared: "Your vessel is compromised. Reactor failure imminent." Amelia's blood ran cold. "Carter," she said, her voice tight, "check the reactor. Now." He didn't need to be told twice. Pulling out his handheld terminal, he accessed the ship's systems. His face paled as he read the data. "They're right," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "The reactor's overheating. If we don't shut it down, it'll take the whole ship with it," Amelia finished grimly. The orbs chirped once more, their glow intensifying. Another message appeared: "We can assist. Permission required." Amelia and Carter exchanged a look. "Do we trust them?" Carter asked. "Do we have a choice?" Amelia replied. With a deep breath, she turned to the orbs and said, "Permission granted."